What's up, everybody, and welcome to a special episode of Pizza and Pixels. Of course, I'm one of your hosts, Josh, aka hexxedPhenom.
And I'm JP.
And today, we're doing a quick little special episode talking all things Call of Duty Modern Warfare multiplayer, because, of course, it just got revealed. The big reveal was yesterday, so we just wanted to record this quick, get it out to you guys. But Pizza and Pixels, of course, is the show where JP and I order a pizza and talk about video games until that pizza shows up. But since we're doing a quick little episode today, we're unfortunately not going to order a pizza.
Personally, we ate some Chinese before we recorded, though, and it was pretty goddamn good.
It was. But it goes live every other Saturday on youtube.com/hexxedPhenom or on podcast services around the globe. Places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, really any podcast service of your choosing. But today, that rule does not apply because I'm going to be uploading it today on Friday. So
I felt like Shane McMahon. I was like this.
Yeah. But we're going into...
Let's get right into that news.
All things Modern Warfare. So if you guys aren't interested, then there's honestly no point in sticking around. We're only going to be talking exclusively Modern Warfare multiplayer here today.
I'm so ready.
And the first thing we're going to talk about is Call of Duty Modern Warfare's open beta, details, dates, and more.
I'm so ready.
So, as part of the reveal stream, they announced that the game would in fact have a multiplayer beta. The early access period for the Modern Warfare open beta will begin September 4th on PlayStation, or September 12th, first on PlayStation 4. The open beta will begin a few days later for all players, regardless of pre-orders. This is the first time that Activision is doing an open beta for Call of Duty across all platforms.
Wow, it's an open beta. Holy hell, I gotta get on that.
And the PlayStation marketing deal continues to exist. PlayStation 4 players will get first access to the open beta via pre-order on September 12th. So the schedule goes like this. Weekend 1 is PlayStation exclusive. So people who pre-order on PS4 will be able to play starting September 12th. And then it will open up for everyone on September 14th and go through the 16th.
So ready.
And then weekend 2 will be all platforms. It will be a cross-play beta. You heard that right. Cross-play.
Oh. That's
beta.
Awesome. That means there's more people to kill.
So early access for Xbox, PC, and early access as well for PS4 for weekend 2 starts September 19th. And then open beta on all platforms for the second weekend is September 21st through the 23rd.
Man, that's bad.
And I'm not going to lie.
Ever open beta that is
I'm excited. I'm excited for the crossplay. I'm excited for the crossplay.
I'm so ready. I mean, no one's going to even know that you're on a different console. At least they shouldn't make it obvious because, well, you know people.
No, we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but I know the game just matches you up based on like your input method. So if you're playing with a controller, you'll just be put in lobbies with anybody who's using a controller.
That's so
and the same thing with keyboard and mouse.
That's so cool. Oh my god, wow, this is looking very, very good.
So we're just going to keep on keeping on. Modern Warfare's post-launch will feature a regular distribution of content with free maps and more. So there is no season pass at all for Modern Warfare.
Damn, yo.
So all of the multiplayer maps will be free to everyone at the same time. Well, probably not at the same time, actually. Because of this PlayStation exclusivity thing.
A week exclusive, most likely. But yeah, basically around the same time.
But still, the exclusion of a season pass is definitely a welcome change.
Tell me about it. That's what Black Ops 4 should have done, but yeah.
And here's a quote from Joe Wojcik, I believe his name is, the Infinity Ward design director. He says, quote, "Instead, an ongoing array of free downloadable maps and content will release post-launch. We just revealed, so it's a little early to talk post-launch, but we can say that it will be a regular distribution of content. We have a very full post-launch schedule because we want players to jump into our game and we want to keep them really busy with new content for a long time."
Wow.
So
that sounds pretty welcoming to me.
It does, very much does. It wouldn't surprise me if Modern Warfare ends up still getting content drops after Black Ops 5 comes out.
Probably. I mean, it seems like Call of Duty games now, when they actually catch fire, like Black Ops 3 was supported for a while.
Yeah.
Obviously, Modern Warfare is going to catch fire. I'm assuming it'll be supported for at least, I'm hoping 2 years.
Yeah.
Past the launch. Be great.
So,
more content.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare will support keyboard and mouse play on consoles.
Wait, what? Well, you mean you can plug in a keyboard and a mouse and play on a console?
If you want to.
That's pretty badass. I like that.
Infinity Ward has revealed in interviews with websites and PlayStation Blog that players who want to play with a keyboard and mouse on consoles will be allowed to do so with Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Wow.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare has cross-play support between PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, and the studio confirmed they will be matchmaking by peripheral input device. Joe C. Cott, again, multiplayer design director, has confirmed to the PlayStation blog the keyboard and mouse will be supported on PS4, and it was confirmed elsewhere to work with Xbox One as well. And there's another quote. At its unveil event, Infinity Ward confirmed that Call of Duty Modern Warfare will support cross-play between PC and console players, a first for the series.
Thank God.
How is the studio balancing mouse and keyboard users with controller users? One of the main ways is that we are planning on matchmaking based on peripheral, design director said. We're also supporting different peripherals, so if you want to plug a keyboard and mouse into your PS4, you can.
That's so cool. I never even thought you could do that on a PS4.
I don't think you can for most games, because most games would consider it cheating, because usually
you aim better with
you aim better with a mouse.
Wow.
So, definitely interesting, and so
as long as
if you choose to plug in your keyboard and mouse on your PS4, you'll be going up against the PC users.
Yeah, exactly. As long as they find a way that actually evenly flow and people can't, like, modify to, like, get in the lobbies with controller players and stuff.
Oh, you mean, like...
totally great. Like,
yeah, that's one thing they need to do is make sure, like...
people don't like, have an input, like a router that it can't
like an
sense
input
exactly
switcher or whatever.
Yeah, I already know.
Or, I mean, even, like... I mean, realistically, you could just, plug a controller in. Okay, I'm playing with controller people. Then unplug it and plug back in the keyboard.
Yeah, that's
so
why...
I hope that if you unplug a controller and try to plug in a keyboard, it just automatically kicks you from the lobby or something like that.
Or it just doesn't work because there's no input device that's a controller. I hope they're really on it because people are going to try that.
Yeah,
which
people
is
are
stupid,
going to try
but
it.
people always ruin everything for everybody.
Yeah, so I have faith in Infinity Ward to... have that be on tip top.
I know these are the people that gave us Infinite Shitfare, but I have faith that they will come back and reclaim what is theirs, and God, I hope they really do it, because that last game was a doozy, man.
Yeah. This one will be exciting for anybody who's attending the COD World League Championships. Call of Duty Modern Warfare will have a hands-on multiplayer available to play at the COD World League Championships at the PlayStation booth.
That's gonna be
from August 16th through the 18th. The 2019 COD World League Championships takes place August 16th through the 18th in Los Angeles, California, and marks the end of the 2019 Call of Duty esports season with Black Ops 4. Activision has not yet said which modes of multiplayer will be playable, but if you're attending, you can stop by the PlayStation booth and get your first hands-on before the open beta.
That's cool. That's awesome.
That's cool.
It seems like in Modern Warfare they are literally doing everything that the fans actually want instead of doing a chunk of it and instead shoving shit down our throats like microtransactions in a season pass.
I mean, to be fair, the microtransactions will be there.
But
they usually show up around January once quarter 4 of the fiscal year is over, or it'll be like after all the sales kind of die down after Christmas. That's when the microtransactions usually hit. So,
or they'll be like, guys, we know what you want. You want Battle Royale and only Battle Royale. It's like, no, I don't want Battle Royale. That's so
the first 2 months of Modern Warfare are going to be awesome. But once the microtransactions hit, then we'll see what happens.
I have a feeling I'm thinking that they know how the fans are going to react, and they have such a good vibe going. I don't think they want to sour it entirely with microtransactions, but Activision is going to do it.
I'm hoping that Infinity Ward can somehow use like the little pull and choice they do have in the whole microtransaction system, which is not much,
to do it right.
Yeah, because I mean, granted, Infinite Warfare, they kind of didn't have a choice but to make the microtransactions fair because there was already a dwindling player base on that game.
Yeah, exactly.
But Infinite Warfare was probably the most forgiving method of supply drops and stuff that we've seen, and microtransactions in general. That and World War II, which are basically the same system.
I gotta admit, it seems like the longer that time goes by, the more I actually like World War II even more than I did. But I gotta admit, installing that game again is like 100 gigabytes flat out. So, gotta take it easy on my hard drive. I feel like maybe on next gen I might fully do it. Depends. But yeah, they're having a lot more pull and having better choices than what has been made in the past. So, hopefully Modern Warfare continues that trend. I hope.
Yeah. So, this next one says, Infinity Ward is still determining if Call of Duty Modern Warfare will support cross-save. So, just a quick little explanation if you guys aren't getting it. Obviously, okay, so the game has cross-play, meaning if you're on PS4, you can play with people on Xbox and PC, again, as long as they're using controllers, and vice versa. All the different consoles can play with each other. But cross-save, meaning that...
That'd be so cool.
Modern Warfare... If it was to be in Modern Warfare, it basically means you'd be able to take, you'd be able to pick the game up on PS4, rank up, say you're like first prestige level 30, then you go and buy the game on PC. Cross-save would mean that you would get to bring your profile over to the PC and then keep ranking up there, and then it would keep, going back and forth between whether you're playing on PlayStation or PC. So they are still determining if it will support that system.
The only thing that's kind of strange to me is this, just because people are assholes, this opens up the method for people to hack on the PC and transfer it to consoles. You know what I mean? Like distributing like max prestige and glitches and hacks like across profiles.
That's probably one reason why they're
That's probably one reason why they're iffy, because I remember...
Although, to be fair, as far as I can tell... Because now Call of Duty is published on Blizzard's platform.
So that's why I think maybe...
So BlizzNet, from what I can tell, has a really good anti-cheat system. So it's not...
It's not going to be an open forum to just walk in and... Like, back in the day, people would, like... For example, you would take your save from a USB drive, and then you'd put it on the computer, and somebody would literally run software or hex, or they would literally change your rank, change whatever, unlock this, unlock that, and they would give it back to you, and you could put it on your console. And that's actually how I platinum Modern Warfare 2. The last two things on Modern Warfare 2 were like absolutely impossible, and me and Anthony tried doing it, and I found out about the Star 69 method where I could just hex it and hack the game, and that's how I platinum the game, me and him.
Nice.
So, yeah, hopefully they have a good anti-cheat system, just from first-hand experience. It's not too hard to do at all. So, it's a good idea, though. I think it should definitely happen. It's just, there's assholes out there that would take advantage of that. Yeah. Which sucks.
But basically, somebody tweeted at multiplayer design director Joe Wojcik, and he said, question, will my in-game progression be the same across all platforms? Like, will I have a single COD account that stores all my data, or will it be through PlayStation Network? Does anyone know? And Joe replied, still figuring this out, more info to come in the future. So, the fact that he says more info to come makes it hopeful, but
it's gonna happen. But
I would assume they're working on it right now. They just aren't sure if they'll have it ready, or if they are confident enough in the PC player base. I don't know, but
I'm sure they'll
regardless
just patch it in if they have to.
Yeah, I hope it shows up, because that'll definitely open up the possibility for
a lot of things.
For a lot of players and stuff. This one, players can create custom loadouts for gunfight and private matches. So if you guys missed it, there's a new gunfight mode in Modern Warfare. It's like a 2v2, like team deathmatch type mode, basically. No respawns, no health regeneration.
So SOCOM. Practically, that's cool.
The big kicker with that is there's no create a class in that mode. So everyone just gets a random loadout, and it's the same between all 4 players for each round.
I kind of like that. I like that a lot. In fact, I might actually play that a lot. Maybe that'll be in the beta. That'd be something.
But it says here, just a quote from a developer, it says the standard settings for this mode will be everyone has the same loadout. We have a lot of options for this mode in custom matches, including options in custom match to pick your loadouts if you want to play that way. It basically just goes on to say that players will be able to make a wide selection of classes to play with friends in custom lobbies with the gunfight mode. So just a quick little blurb there. Cool. I'm always down for, more options for messing around with private matches and stuff.
Exactly, right.
We talked about this one earlier. Call of Duty Modern Warfare will have matchmaking based on input device. So essentially, I don't really need to read through the article.
Yeah, we already kind of skimmed it pretty good.
So if you're using a keyboard and mouse, you're going to match up with other keyboard and mouse players. If you're using a controller, you'll match up with other controller players.
Don't you try to mix and match those wires, boy.
This one's interesting. Modern Warfare multiplayer features a new ground war mode with more than 100 players.
You see, this is kind of what we wanted, a not battle royal. so I kind of like.
I'm not gonna lie though, this probably is gonna open the door for Battle Royale.
Open the door for Battle Royale, but if it's Ground War with 100 people, that's pretty damn cool. Because Ground War, I always like playing Ground War until they kind of like
got rid of it.
They kind of just flat out got rid of it. I thought it was the shit in World at War. You felt like you were in a war. So if they ever remaster World at War, which they probably will, they better have that in there.
Modern Warfare will have 100-player ground war mode when it launches in October. Quote from Activision, I think, says, players can jump into new play spaces that redefine Call of Duty multiplayer. From quick action, close quarters, 2v2 experience and gunfight, traditional 6v6 multiplayer, modes that support 10 versus 10 and 20 versus 20. And now I'm getting a phone call.
Well, it's probably one of those random services. So
That's why I'm not going to answer, so we're just going to have to sit here awkwardly.
I just want to decline it.
Whatever. Along with the high player count maps and combat, such as the all-new Grand War and Epic large-scale mode supporting more than 100 players, and that's just the beginning for Modern Warfare fans.
God damn.
So that'll be interesting. I know specifically for the 20v20 modes, there are larger maps built specifically for those, so I assume that's what the 100-player modes will also be played on. Could you imagine that? Like 50 versus 50 team deathmatch, dude? That'd be awesome.
I know, that's kind of what I wanted COD to always do. So it's very interesting knowing it's happening at the end of PS4 and Xbox One and not like the next gen. So that
realistically,
really gets me
even though this
excited
isn't
now.
a next, like even though this isn't next gen, this
really,
pretty much is a next gen Call of Duty.
This really is some next gen shit right here, and it's on current gen consoles, which is really fucking cool.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare Dark Edition announced. The new edition of Call of Duty Modern Warfare comes packed with a real-life night vision goggles. The first time night vision goggles has been included in a collector's edition of a Call of Duty game since Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Yep, I remember that, actually.
The Dark Edition of Call of Duty Modern Warfare will retail for $199. So with it comes, of course, the full working night vision goggles, the steelbook, an in-game tactical knife skin, a Call of Duty Endowment animated calling card, and 3 operator skins for they're basically playable characters in multiplayer. They don't have abilities attached to them. They're just basically different costumes, which is cool.
And then you too can put on the night vision goggles and go so.
But yeah, we're just flying through this stuff.
I hope to God that's in. I hope that at some point there is just the classic audio line. Soap. What kind of name is soap?
What the hell kind of name is soap, babe?
Soap.
How to Muppet like you pass selection. Alright. Call of Duty Modern Warfare introduces the Gunsmith weapon customization system. This is one of the things I'm most excited about.
Well, finally, they're introducing it. Yeah! Let's do it.
So, weapons in Call of Duty Modern Warfare can have anywhere between 30 to 60 attachments per weapon.
That is absolutely insane.
The lower end of that spectrum, 30, is for pistols and weapons that have limited options for what can be added to them. The higher number of that spectrum, 60, is for weapons in the assault rifle, SMGs, and LMG classes. Each weapon has its own unique set of attachments, and of course some weapon attachments do overlap. The Gunsmith allows for customization of weapons beyond what many Call of Duty fans could have ever imagined. Players can pick different muzzles, different optics, different rear grips, stocks, the undergrip, barrel, underbarrel, and more in the Gunsmith for each weapon. Players can select up to 5 attachments per weapon. If you hit 5 attachments and try to add more, the selection screen asks you to replace one of your current attachments with a new one. Gunsmith was truly built for players who are all about customizing and decking out their weapons. The studio also confirms there will also be paint jobs available for guns, but that was not available in the build that was played. So basically part of the new create a class system is this Gunsmith. And so essentially,
it's pretty bad.
Your weapons level up a lot faster, because instead of only having like 10 to 12 attachments to unlock, you have 30 to 60.
Yeah.
So your weapons level up a lot faster. You can swap attachments out on your guns mid-game, which is really fucking cool.
Yeah, that shit sounds pretty tight.
And yeah, so every weapon as long as it's a high enough level, you can have all 5 attachments on, and that doesn't have to detract from the rest of your class. It's not like the pick 10 system that we've seen in the Black Ops games the past couple years.
So it's something of its own, practically.
It's kind of like, it kind of goes back to Call of Duty 4, like where you always have to have a full loadout, you know what I mean?
Oh,
you can't like take off your secondary to get another attachment on your primary, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you have a primary that you can have up to 5 attachments on, a secondary that you can have up to 5 attachments on.
Dude,
you need to carry a lethal and a tactical, you need 3 perks, and you need your 3 kill streaks.
So basically, this is back to basics.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's pretty cool. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like, well, why can't I just carry this? Why can't I ditch my pistol? But yeah,
the gunsmith is crazy basics, though. But it's like, and it's just like, there's like different variations of things that you're kind of used to in a Call of Duty game. So like, for instance, if you go into the muzzle, there'll be like 8 or 9 different choices, but it's like, oh, regular suppressor, flash suppressor, large suppressor, small suppressor,
the whole 9 yards.
Muzzle brake, compensator, and the interesting thing is. Now a lot of the attachments have both pros and cons, so it'll actually like show you like it'll tell you, not just like the little tiny bars that they always have that are vague, but it'll actually tell you like, oh, this attachment will increase your aim down sight speed, but it'll reduce your overall movement speed, or you know, it'll reduce your recoil, but it'll increase your, I don't know, reload time or something like that. But yeah, there's just so many different options. It's insane. And I know this article doesn't go into it. I don't know if it's any of the other articles I have open. But one of the things you can do with some of the weapons is you can actually... Some of the attachments you have is actually like conversion kits to basically take one weapon and make it into another one that's not already in the game. So like you can take the M4A1, you could put a select fire on it, you could change it to the caliber of an M16, and you could turn it into an M16.
Jesus Christ.
Or you can take the AK-47, take off the stock, give it a caliber change, and it'll be the AK-74U. Or you can put on...
insane. You could literally modify the weapons entirely.
Yeah. Or you could take the AK-47, give it a drum mag, give it a different barrel, and something else, and another conversion kit, and turn it into an RPD. Like, it's insane.
That actually sounds really welcoming. I like that.
So, I mean, essentially, let's just assume maybe there's like 30 to 40... Let's just say there's like 35 to 40 base weapons in the game. This basically takes it up and turns it to like 50 or 60.
Because you can make different combinations of weapons and stuff beyond what it is. Dude, an AK-47 with a drum magazine. Like, can you imagine having a drum mag on an AK-47?
I mean, that's essentially what an RPD is, when you think about it.
Essentially, but it's like, damn, you'd feel like you have a Chicago typewriter in your hand.
Yeah, pretty much.
Except you got an AK-47. It's like, damn, man.
I'm so excited to mess around with all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare introduces new gameplay mechanics.
It seems like this game is the answer to everything. Yeah, the more I hear about it, the more I'm like, I wanted that. I wanted that.
Yeah.
I wanted that. Yo, that's cool. I wanted that. It's damn, man. This gets me excited for like what's gonna happen beyond this game too.
Yeah.
Because I'm hoping that means that Black Ops 5. Can't even believe I'm
Yeah, I'm
saying
hoping that Black Ops is gonna have a lot of these improvements.
I hope that it all goes in because Black Ops 4. Well, it wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. It's kind of just there.
Yeah.
So, very exciting for what's going to happen with Call of Duty.
Alright, so one of the new things is interactions with doors in Call of Duty Modern Warfare multiplayer. It sounds stupid to say, but it's actually cool and something that you don't typically see in Call of Duty. Players are able to open and close many doors located around the maps. You can also brute force charge into doors for those who want to sprint into places. Brute forcing into the door can actually kill an enemy if they are standing on the other side of the door. Can you imagine getting killed by fucking just slamming a door into somebody?
I'm just waiting for the moment where people give themselves away because someone's sitting in the corner of a room and all of a sudden someone just bursts through the door like the Kool-Aid Man. Oh yeah!
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah! That I gotta admit, it's interesting knowing that COD's like catching up with a lot of these like realistic things from shooters.
Yeah.
Because for years in SOCOM you open and close doors, and in Call of Duty it just never really struck my mind.
I know
why you can't do it, you know.
I know with the doors thing, they were saying like, this article doesn't seem to go as in depth with what I've seen from like other people talking about it, But it's not just like, okay, you walk up to it and either just open it regularly or you can sprint into it and fucking slam it.
Oh,
But you
yeah.
can, like, you can slide into it and open it that way. You can, like, throw C4 on it and blow the door down basically like a breach.
That's badass.
You can fucking, you could shoot through the door, like you could shoot holes in the door with like shotguns and stuff.
Well, knowing you could shoot holes through the door, that is a pretty awesome thing. I like that, because that means if someone's sitting there waiting for someone to open a door, if you shoot through it, they're gonna die.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Or I know, if you like kind of like slowly like walk up to it, you can just like open it just a crack and like throw a flashbang in.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So you could do some like realistic SOCOM kind of stuff here, like Navy SEAL stuff.
I'm hoping that seems like a great way to like
It's a great way to kind of bring
to fight
realism.
camping and stuff. I think. 'Cause
Yes.
if you know someone's sitting in a dark corner in one room, you could just peek open the door, toss in a flashbang, and then just burst the door open
and as you throw
and
it,
end them.
You could be as stealthy as possible and go, adios, amigo. Just throw it in the
Yeah.
room, and then that's it.
Another new mechanic is the mounting. Players are able to mount onto surfaces to watch over ledges across the map. Alongside this, players can mount to lean over certain areas. The leaning is much more intuitive than it was in Call of Duty Ghosts and could be more useful.
I was about to say, I'm like, you mean kind of like Ghost, but it actually works?
So essentially the way it works, is
Ghost
whereas
try.
in, I think World at War had it with like certain weapons that had bipods, where you could like, set your weapon up on a thing, but you're like kind of immobile while you do it. Like you can't really move, you can just move your aim. It's essentially the same thing, and it reduces the recoil on your weapons a lot. But you have to stay stuck to the surface that you're mounted on.
So if you have a bipod, or if you mount up, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
But you gotta admit, when you're
Well, for this, you don't need a bipod. You can do it with any gun.
So you can just mount a gun.
Except for like launchers, I think, which makes sense.
Yeah, because the only thing is, if you're gonna mount, you only have a wide spectrum of left to right.
Yeah, you can only like
you can't like
you can
turn
only move your camera
360. You can only go like this to like that.
Yeah.
So it'll definitely work if you're.
So it's definitely like
stealth.
a strategy thing. It's like, okay, well, I could mount my weapon and it'll have less recoil, but if anyone comes up behind me, I'm a sitting duck.
Yeah. So if you have your buddies watching you, though, that's a good strategy.
Another new mechanic is the tactical sprint feature that the studio has added. Standard sprint is available by pressing down the left analog stick and is unlimited, but if you press down twice, you enter a new tactical sprint where you hold your weapon up and get a burst sprint to get around even faster.
Holy hell.
And from what I've heard, the drawback to that is because your weapon is like held up like this. It takes so much longer for you to pull it back down as opposed to normally sprinting and pulling your weapon back up to shoot.
Yeah.
So if you get caught like super sprinting around a corner, you're pretty much dead.
You're fucked, because your gun's just gonna be gonna throw it out and just like.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. They're getting very tactical with this game. So they're kind of.
I'm all for it, man.
They're adding that realistic element that many people never thought Call of Duty would add in their games, because it's an arcade shooter. But
Yeah.
they're starting to bridge that gap.
So Modern Warfare does something a little bit interesting in terms of its health regeneration mechanics, in the sense that it does a little bit of a combination of classic Call of Duty and what we're used to in Black Ops 4. So the health regeneration in general is automatic in multiplayer, but for those that would like to heal faster, there's a tactical equipment called Stim. The description for the equipment is military stimulant that cauterizes combat wounds, and it does just that. It speeds up your auto health regen.
So essentially, it's a strife.
Pretty much, yeah. So you can either have the classic Call of Duty health regen, which is everyone's going to have normally, where, your screen kind of flashes for a couple seconds, you're all bloody, and then it just slowly clears up after a couple seconds of not taking damage. Or you can, if you're running the stim equipment, you'll just inject yourself real quick, and it'll heal you up. So it's going to be interesting. I might be running that stim. It looks pretty useful from the build that they had.
How'd you just go, yo, man, I got a stom.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare multiplayer maps feature exploration-style Easter eggs similar to the original Modern Warfare trilogy.
Goddamn, this is...
As part of Infinity Ward's design decision to allow more playstyles as well as exploration, they're bringing back a fan-favorite aspect of the original Modern Warfare trilogy that has been absent for a while in Call of Duty. For example, back in Modern Warfare 2, High Rise had certain exploration things where you could get on top of the gray building through jumping on ledges and crates that were hanging on the front of the building.
That brings me back. Wow. Yeah.
So essentially, there's just going to be like certain power positions that if you know how to get to, you can get to, but it's not going to be something super obvious, or it's not going to be like a little stack of crates and then a ledge.
Crates and then a ledge.
But like
That's
in
pretty cool.
in Modern Warfare 2, it was what there was like a window washer that was hanging vertically off the side of the building, and if you had just the right like sprint and then jump, you could actually grab onto it like a ladder, climb it up, then like walk along the edge of the building,
Yep.
and then get to the other side and climb up another window washer, and then you could just sit on top of the building.
And honestly, a lot of people kind of didn't know how to get up there, so it was like a lot of people just forgot about it. It's a pretty good spot.
Now, this is the one thing that I could see being somewhat negative. Call of Duty Modern Warfare does not feature a mini-map in standard modes. There's no mini-map on by default in Call of Duty Modern Warfare multiplayer across standard modes. This represents one of the biggest changes to a core functionality of Call of Duty in a while. Infinity Ward's thought process and how they approached this design for this year's game was taking a look at every single aspect of Call of Duty's past and seeing what was added unnecessarily.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, you don't really need a mini-map. You just learn the map yourself. I think it's kind of more like it encourages you to keep playing the map, and then you visually in your mind can know where you're at. So your mind is the grid. Because I never looked up in the corner.
For me,
much anyway.
It's not necessarily that. For me, it's more of like, I use it to predict spawns. So if I know where my teammates are spawning, I know that the other team is spawning opposite to that, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you can still do that just without looking on a mini-map. You can just assume where you're spawning and cross the way is.
Well, yeah, but
where they're going.
if I'm not spawning, then how the fuck do I know?
Oh, yeah, true. But hey.
That's what I mean, because like...
Yeah, we all spawn in the game, so it's like... I think it's kind of cool. I think a lot of people use it as a crutch for way too long. So now
I think
more
people
like,
definitely do, but
I think it's more now at this point. It's like, hey, you play the map so much that it's like, oh well, hey, I'm spawning here. I already know where the enemy's gonna spawn. So the spawn points in Call of Duty aren't that hard to figure out, but I'm hoping their spawns are good in this game because they haven't really been the best in the past.
In most modes, it's fine, but in something like Domination, where they're constantly flipping based on what flags you have and stuff like that, or
at least it keeps you guessing. Though.
Hardpoint and stuff, that's where I would like to be able to know where my teammates are spawning, to be able to predict where the other team is spawning.
And
especially if you're on a high kill streak, like, okay, I haven't spawned in like a minute and a half, like, how the hell am I supposed to know where people are coming from?
And, I mean, even then, even in old school CODs, it could be in your favor, and then an enemy will spawn right with you somehow, because that always happens.
Well, yeah,
and then they just blow your head off with a shotgun. It's like, wow, okay. So it's gonna be the most I think difference that they're making, because everybody knew that Call of Duty has a minimap. So if they say standard modes, does that mean hardcore has a minimap then?
No. Or they just were saying it as in like,
oh, it's just gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind it at all. I'm pretty excited about that actually.
Keeps
it interesting.
I'll make more of a judgment on it once I've played the beta, but I don't know. Just hearing about it, I don't know.
I can't wait to see people bitch about it.
I don't know. I feel like they should maybe put it back in, but not even like...
Make it limited access to it?
Make it limited in the sense of like how normally it shows like the red dots on it when people are shooting. I think they could just get rid of that and basically just use it as a tool to like just know your basic general surroundings and just know where your teammates are. But
it's either that, unless while you're playing they kind of tell you where shots are coming from. Like you know Battlefield, how they do that, how it'll be like a little tiny like sector. If you hear shots being fired, it'll like light up a little bit when you're turning around and stuff.
I know what you mean.
Maybe they're going to be doing that, but it should be different.
But yeah, the only way to get the mini map is to either have a UAV or an advanced UAV.
So I guess that makes it more important to get UAVs, because personally when mini maps were on, I didn't give a flying fuck about UAVs at all. If anything, it just added dots on the screen. So maybe they're just trying to make it more in a realistic way, that if you get a UAV, it's like now you have full access because you have a UAV, which is the main point of a UAV. So maybe that's just one of the other realistic changes they're making, you know?
Yeah.
Especially for a reboot. It's a good time to do it during a reboot, because anything can happen.
Like I said, I'm open to it, and I'll wait for like a full hardcore like dissection of it until after I've played the beta or something. But I don't know, we'll see. Honestly, the thing I'm most worried about is because I mostly play Call of Duty, like, I just go into public matches solo, and my teammates already suck enough with a mini-map, so I can only imagine how bad people are going to be without a mini-map.
So basically, at that point, you'd probably trust somebody that has, like, the cane, like, moving around.
Pretty much, yeah.
I would probably trust somebody that has a full-on cane that's sweeping the area like this over a lot of random people, because, yeah, people are pretty dumb.
But, yeah, this is another quick one. Call of Duty Modern Warfare features larger style maps for a 20 versus 20 mode. During our time at Call of Duty Modern Warfare at the multiplayer reveal event, Infinity Ward revealed new larger player count modes for Modern Warfare. This mode features 20v20, one of the first times Call of Duty's featured large team battles besides Blackout. Infinity Ward says they have designed maps specifically for 2v2, 6v6, 10v10, and 20v20.
That's insane.
Activision has also teased that Call of Duty Modern Warfare will have a ground war mode and MP with more than 100 players, which we already talked about. Oops.
Man.
So this one is a little more in the weeds, I'd say. This is everything that's currently in Modern Warfare multiplayer: perks, weapons, and more.
Wow, this is the
so
fix.
We'll just run through them real quick.
It.
We'll start with kill streaks. 3 kills is a personal radar, an escort drone that enables the radar for the owner and pings nearby enemies. So that's just a UAV, but only for the person who called it in.
Nice.
Then 4 kills is a counter UAV, a regular UAV, or a care package. You can only equip
So this is
one
kind of like
of
street standards. I
Yeah.
like this. Okay, this is cool. This is back to basics entirely.
5 kills is a cluster strike, signal for a number of cluster mortars to hit the designated location. Cruise missile, control a long-range cruise missile with boost capabilities.
Nice.
A precision airstrike, call in twin jets for a precision strike along the best available path. 7 kills is a Wheelson, remote-controlled UGV with a powerful airburst turret. So basically just like a remote-controlled unmanned ground vehicle with a turret.
You remember the fly bomb? That was one of the funniest things ever. It was like a paper airplane you like threw in the air and then
the hunter killer drone.
I'm like, yo, it's the fly bomb. That was something.
Infantry assault vehicle, a manned light infantry vehicle with a 50 cal machine gun. 8 kills will get you an emergency airdrop. Call in 3 random kill streak care packages.
Wow.
VTOL jet releases an initial missile barrage before guarding a location of the player's choice.
Nice.
10 kills will get you a chopper gunner or white phosphorus, which the white phosphorus is like a napalm strike kind of.
I was gonna say that's a napalm. That's cool.
11 kills will get you a support helo. Call in a heavy assault helicopter with twin turrets to patrol the map. 12 kills will get you a gunship, heavy assault gunship with 3 types of armament, so it's an AC-130. Advanced UAV, orbital UAV that reveals the enemy's directions on the minimap.
And we all know what the last one's gonna be.
And 15 kills is the Juggernaut.
Dude, all I know is seeing people with the Juggernaut suit on in multiplayer. It's one of those moments where you get scared shitless practically because you know that you're 110% royally fucked unless somehow he's about to die and you get the final bullet. Yeah, man.
One that's not on here that they showed in the trailer was they showed a nuke in the trailer, so I think it's probably going to be just...
I hope to God it's not a 30 kill and the game ends, because that was...
I don't know how it's going to be, but I think it might just be that you don't... Well, I don't think this is the full list of kill streaks either.
Yeah, I was going to say...
But I'm thinking maybe it's just kind of how in Modern Warfare 3, where you didn't have to equip it, it just happened if you got 25 kills or whatever it was. So that might be what it is.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. It's just, how the game ended, it was like... And then you like just sit there and you just disintegrate. You're like, well,
I'm not gonna lie, that it might be a game ender, especially if they're going for the more realistic thing.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a game ender. I think it's gonna come back. Should be very interesting. So if you got an animal or you are an animal at Call of Duty, you are going to probably feel right at home. So a lot of people always.
Although
back.
One change from the Modern Warfare series that your kills with your kill streaks don't count towards your other streaks. Unless there is a perk, which we'll talk about, which allows you to do that. But we'll get into that. Here we got the weapons that were available in this preview build. So this isn't all of the weapons. This is just what was available for the multiplayer reveal yesterday. Assault rifles, we have the M13, the FR556, which is the FAMAS, the M4A1, the AK-47, and the Odin.
Nice.
For SMGs, we have the MP5, the MP7, and the AUG. For shotguns, we have the Model 680 and the 725. For LMGs, we have the M91 and the L86A2. For marksman rifles, we have the M14 and the MK2. For snipers, there's the AX50, which is a bolt action, and that's all that was available in the build that they played. I don't know why there's not pistols on here, because there definitely was pistols that people were using. For perks, we've got the first perk slot. We've got Double Time, which triples the duration of your super sprint and fully refreshes super sprint on kills. EOD, take reduced damage from non-kill streak explosives and fire. And you can hack enemy claymores, proximity mines, and C4.
Nice.
Scavenger, resupply ammo from dead players. Tracker, enemies leave behind trails and death markers, increases crouch movement speed by 30%. And Tune-Up, increase the charge rate of your field upgrades by 50%. We'll get into what the field upgrades are. Perk number 2, we have Ghost, undetectable by UAVs, radar drones, heartbeat sensors, and high alert. High death markers of enemies you kill. Hardline, your kill streaks cost 1 less kill. Kill Chain, kill streaks earned in your current life earn kill credit for other kill streaks. Overkill, carry 2 primary weapons. And Restock, recharge equipment every 30 seconds.
Nice.
And perk 3, we've got Amped, faster weapon swap and rocket launcher reload speeds. Battle Hardened is reduce the strength of enemy flash, stun, and EMP effects. Cold-Blooded, undetectable by AI targeting systems and thermal optics, immune to snapshot grenades. High Alert, your vision pulses when enemies outside of your view see you.
Oh shit.
I need to take a drink.
Water. Lots of H2O.
Water. Shrapnel, spawn with an extra piece of lethal equipment. Explosive damage delays enemy health regeneration.
Nice.
And Spotter, see enemy equipment, field upgrades, and kill streaks through walls. Mark them for your team by looking at them while aiming down sight.
Wow,
that's an interesting set of perks there.
That's actually a pretty cool addition, especially if people pay attention and know what the hell they're going for.
Randoms aren't going to, but if you're in a party, that would be useful for 1 or 2 of your party members to run that.
Exactly.
So for lethals, we have Frag, Semtex, Molotov, Claymore, Throwing Knife, C4, Thermite, and Proximity Mines. Tacticals, we've got Flash Grenade, Smoke Grenade, Stun Grenade, Stim, which is that, the injector to heal your health faster. Decoy Grenades, which just fire off random shots. Gas Grenades, explodes on impact with on the ground releasing a lingering cloud of tear gas. Snapshot Grenades provides a momentary glimpse of enemies within the blast radius. So basically, if you just throw it, and when it explodes, any enemies in the blast radius will be marked for you. And the Heartbeat Sensor, a tablet that displays rough information about nearby enemies.
I gotta admit, for what they had in the current build, I mean, it's looking pretty damn good. I'm excited to try out the beta. I'm probably gonna get it around Christmas. I'm thinking I'll have to really see what the hell I'm doing, but I'm definitely, without a doubt, going to play the beta. There's no doubts about that. I'm playing the beta.
The nuke returns on Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It's back, the fan favorite kill streak in the Call of Duty series. The nuke is returning in Modern Warfare. As part of the multiplayer game trailer that debuted yesterday, the ending moment showcased the nuke being deployed on the map. The team at Infinity Ward has not stated how many kills exactly that are needed. Previous Infinity Ward games have had game-ending streaks with 25, so it should be safe to assume that's the number for this year. No one at the event was able to get the 25 kill streak to confirm if the nuke was in our build. So there's no gameplay right now of the nuke other than what's available in the multiplayer trailer.
It's going to be interesting for whoever gets the first nuke in Modern Warfare. I feel like it's going to be like, yo, man, that guy got the first fucking nuke.
And
like, damn.
The last thing that we got to talk about is Call of Duty Modern Warfare multiplayer features night versions of select maps with enhanced realism mode.
What?
So Call of Duty Modern Warfare multiplayer features a new, more hardcore version of the hardcore game mode. Select maps in Modern Warfare have a day and nighttime variant. The nighttime variants are completely dark. Complete darkness requires players to use the night vision in-game effectively in order to win this TDM-style match.
Yeah, that's cool.
Players spawn in and select their class. On PS4, you press down on the D-pad to enable night vision. When using night vision in this game, it's real night vision, not just a green overlay. When aiming down sights, if you have a weapon with no attachments on it, your weapon sort of tilts while ADSing. And while walking around, your weapon gives off a laser that allows you to be spotted by both teammates and enemies, so you have to be strategic.
Damn, dude, wow. That's a fucking game changer right there.
And it's one shot kill to the head and a few shots to the body. One of the big challenges with this mode is that you don't get a hit marker confirmation at all, so you're not sure all the time if you've gotten the kill, especially if it's a long-range fight.
Wow.
So a more hardcore version of hardcore. I'm not gonna lie, I'll definitely try that mode out for shits and giggles, but I don't see myself ever playing that mode, like, regularly, you know what I mean?
I could see you making a video on your channel for it. It's like, alright guys, here is nighttime warfare. Call of Duty, nighttime warfare. Nosferatu warfare.
But, yeah, guys,
it's looking
that's
pretty good. I think the news is great so far.
Basically everything we know from Modern Warfare, just about. Of course, if you guys want to see gameplay, there's more than enough gameplay from all the YouTubers and stuff that were at the reveal yesterday. They have a ton of gameplay up.
Yeah, well, that's gonna be good.
But
and then the beta in September, so
beta in September, so
first cross-platform. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, so if you guys are excited, be sure to try it out when the open beta opens up in September. But I'm excited. I'll probably be, assuming that the game still ends up looking this good and somehow doesn't fall apart before launch, I'll probably be getting it day one.
Yeah, I'm hoping it doesn't fall apart. I think the game's looking pretty good. They have a whole package. I think this is the game that people wanted for a very, very long time.
Now, will Activision be able to capitalize on that, or will they just absolutely stuff it with microtransactions? That's the question.
They'll stuff it like a Thanksgiving turkey.
They really will, and that's the sad thing. But with that being said, guys, let us know, are you excited for Call of Duty Modern Warfare? Let us know down in the comments. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this special episode of Pizza and Pixels. And until next time, another one bites the crust.